I call this execution drag. This is the hidden tax. It's usually around 30% of your current resources in execution drag. And let me give you just a real quick example of how I think you can visualize this. I live in Austin, and when I'm driving across to Houston, I go through a bunch of small towns. And there's an experience in these towns where literally you might be going 75 miles an hour, and then boom, all of a sudden you got to shrink down to 40 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour. And it's the same road. You're going the same direction. You're in the same vehicle. Got all the same people in the car, but yet just like that, you have to slow down. And it feels like such a huge drag. It feels like all of a sudden you're going through molasses. And when you look around and you see, hey, this is not actually like a different experience. Like there's nothing to even worry about. Let's keep flying through here. This is kind of the mindset of all of us as CEOs and leaders. We have this like, let's go, let's fly through this, but something slows you down. And that's the hidden tax that I want to talk about. Execution drag is just like that. The only difference is in my example, you're actually driving and you have a reason you're slowing down. You see a shift in the speed. But in reality, in our businesses, we never see the shift. We just look around and realize suddenly everybody's going 30 miles an hour instead of 65 miles an hour. You can't put your finger on it. And you've got great people doing what you think are great things. So why are they moving so slow? And it's not just that they are moving slow. It's not really a people problem. It's an execution drag problem. And it's very specific, it's very measurable. It covers 4 different zones, and we're going to walk through all of them. And I want to tell you exactly how this plays out in your organization so you can find the execution drag and do something about it immediately. Here's the reason why. When we take execution drag, we isolate it, and we free that 30% up, it doesn't just produce 30% more value in the business. It's a force multiplier. You know, if you all of a sudden had a free employee drop in, parachute in, boom, all of a sudden you got a free employee you don't have to pay for. How much more would you get done? And how much more valuable would that be? Well, if it's a salesperson that you drop in and they're a great performer, a salesperson all of a sudden is going to add all kinds of revenue to your bottom line. So this is kind of what we're talking about, is this force multiplier, right? Of what are you going to do with this 30%? And I always like to say, if we can figure out where that drag is, that 30% can turn into 2x or 3x in 90 days, in 6 months. This is how we wind up having situations where, you know, in the businesses I've worked in and the coaches and the clients that I help coach, we can have a massive change in 12 months. And it looks like 5 years of worth of work because we find that execution drag, we isolate it, and then we do the second part, which is move to what's most impactful.